Good morning. We are back out on the river today, as you can see. Just going to be fishing some pocket water and try and get a couple nice brownies. It is a lot cooler today than it has been, and we've had a bit of rainfall as well, so I'm hoping that the fishing is going to be good today. But yeah, I thought it would be a good opportunity, a bit of a learning video as well, to show you how I fish the pocket water, fishing seams and stuff like that, and kind of show you as much as I can how I go about doing it. Now, I don't have a GoPro that I can attach on my chest to show you in action of what I'm doing, but I'll do my best to kind of demonstrate what the goal is. So yeah, I'll swap the video around now and I'll show you where I'm planning to fish, and then I'll show you my rig and everything. And yeah, hopefully then I'll be showing you a couple fish that I've caught, using that technique. So yeah, hopefully whatever I can show you today is helpful. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is the first section of river that I'm going to be fishing. Now, a pocket is basically an area where the water goes from shallow to deep, and it's usually quite indicative where you can see the bubble line. So there, I don't know whether you'd call that a pocket or a seam. There's two strips over there where you can see the foster water is. Following that down, you can see again, it starts to get nice and deep there. That over there is where I would imagine a bigger trout is going to be sitting, because all the food gets funneled down from all of this water here. All the food gets channeled and followed down and concentrated into that little seam. You can see just the middle of it. So I'll fish either side of that, starting from the bottom just over there, working my way up all along that seam, and just drifting my nymphs through with as little fly line as possible touching the water. Another good indicator of a place to fish would be somewhere like the tail of that seam. You can see the bubbles. So bubbles are a dead giveaway of where food's going to be concentrated. So anything that falls on the top of the water there, that's where it's going to be floating, and the fish know that, so they sit waiting right there for the food to come to them. So yeah, those are the seams and the pockets that I'll be fishing. And this is the rig that I'm using. So I've got my trusty little nymph over there, and I've got another smaller nymph on the back. I usually like to use a zebra midge, but unfortunately I've lost all of my zebra midges. The distance between those two first flies, well, you can't even see it in the video really, is about a foot, and then about 2 foot above that I've got my little strike indicator there. Obviously that will be slid up and down depending on the depth, and a good measure of or a good gauge to see how far up that indicator needs to be is you guesstimate the depth of the water you're fishing in, and then move the slide that up about the depth plus another half is usually a good. It depends on how fast the water's flowing, but yeah, the depth plus another half. So there we go. Okie dokie. So it's been about an hour and a half now. I've made it quite far up the river. Just thought it's a good spot here now in the shade to have a little stop and refreshment break. I'm actually at a section here where it's very, very deep and very slow. There is a little bit of a seam just at the top of the pool, but for some reason in this pool I've really not had much luck. I've caught 2 or 3 chub out of it before on all my expeditions out here. So there's definitely chub in here, and I can every now and then I can see little silver flashes where they're grabbing nymphs or something. But yeah, I've just never really had luck in this deep pool. First time I came over here I thought, oh, this is where all the monsters will be, and they very well might be in here, but yeah, I've just never had any luck catching them, and I've only ever caught chub, weirdly. But yeah, so I'm gonna stop, have a drink and a bit of a bite to eat. I have caught a few fish, but they've all been like so big, maybe a little bit bigger, and I've got a kind of rule of thumb that I don't record a fish that is not able to be in my net. And as you can see, I've got fairly big holes in the net since I've swapped out. I used to have one that was like a cloth sort of material, but that's not so good for protecting the fish's sort of slimy coat, so I've swapped out now for the plastic one. But yeah, because I like to rest my fish in the net, in the water, while I record, get everything set up just for the fish's safety, and kind of it's a bit easier for me to manage. Yeah, all the fish that I've caught so far have just pop straight back in. They've all been small, but good fun anyway. But yeah, the section above where I'm heading now is where I like to call that my big fish spot. I know that like the back of my hand, often if I don't have too much time to fish, I'll bypass all of this that I've just fished now and I'll go straight there. Got a lot of good pockets. It's really rocky, so the water is like kind of funneled into a lot of areas, so there's a lot of good pockets to pick out, and I've caught my biggest fish from those areas. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show you a decent fish soon. But yeah, I'm going to quickly fish my way up here. It's probably another, I don't know, 100 meters up, and there's only a few pockets up to that point, so yeah, hopefully I'll show you a bit of fish soon. So this is another good example of where there is sort of pocket water. That little strip over there is pretty good, and that over there is also very good. You can see it's slightly darker along there, slightly deeper. It's only about 1.5 to 2 foot deep, but yeah, you get some pretty decent fish that can sit in such shallow water. Yeah, you can never see them, so just cast as if there's definitely one there, have a few casts and move on to the next one. But yeah, I'm hoping just in front of that rock there, I'm hoping I'll get a fish. There we are. There's a fairly decent one, probably about 20 something centimeters, not massive, but biggest one of the day so far anyway. Let's do a little net release here. Here he goes. Nice. Here we are, second one from the same spot, slightly smaller, and he's just about able to fit through the net, but yeah, managed to get him in it anyways. Beautiful little fish. Okay, so third fish that's at least big enough just about to fit in the net. Yeah. Oh. I suppose that's the trouble with handling them over the water, because if you lose grip of them, they're gone. Anyway, he was not big by any standard, but again, fishing the tail of a nice big run like that. This goes deep and slow, moving all the way down here. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to pick another one out of this, but it's really tough today with the big ones. I've had more small ones than I have digits on my body, but yeah, just really struggling to get any decent ones. Anyway, we persist. Alrighty, so that's my lot for today. Yeah, I'll eventually stop counting, but if I had to guess, I would say I probably had around 30 small fish today. So yeah, the technique works. And I appreciate that the stuff I've shown in the video today, if you are an avid fly fisherman, is not going to be anything new or anything insightful, but it's just if somebody new to the sport happens to come across my video and finds it helpful, then great. Particularly if, you know, there's a lot of videos out there from a lot more well-known channels saying the same thing. So yeah, if this has helped you, give me a shout, let me know. But yeah, unfortunately, no big fish today, just loads and loads of little ones. I think the only size fish I did see was about a foot long, so I'm not sure where all the big ones have gone, or what, if they've maybe moved upstream or downstream this time of year. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it was a nice day out in the water anyway, nice and quiet as well. Didn't see any other fishermen, and it's not a blank, so you know, there's that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.